Okay, so in review, we have Dallas Crum with Inspire Media. He was running his own side hustle, Vivid Roots, and really started building his own expertise in digital marketing to the point where he solicited to a friend. He needed some free gym work, and so he got a trade. From there, he got the confidence of starting to offer his services to other people, and eventually started doing social media for kind of friends and family. And coincidentally ran into a digital marketing agency that was about to run a campaign. And through a quick discovery, he found out probably he had more expertise in the area than they did at the moment. So they formed a partnership together. And since then, he's worked with other digital marketing agencies to kind of get some clientele coming in the door in addition to his own efforts of bringing inbound marketing. He recommends not being paid by the hour because it really limits you and kind of puts a cap on how much you can make. And then in terms of like building out your team, he recommends essentially giving a test with a new employee, like give them a campaign, not the whole keys to the kingdom. And if it works, then continue to scale out. If not, then say thanks and have a great day. So thank you so much, Dallas, for the insights, and good luck with your venture. Hi, I'm Ryan Basso with the Venture College, a program within the College of Innovation Design at Boise State. The Venture College helps students and community members launch their ideas beyond the classroom and turn those ideas into startups, lifestyle businesses, side hustles, and other ventures. With the COVID-19 situation, we know that more and more people in our community and throughout Idaho, beyond just students, will be looking for ways to generate extra income. That's why we've started the Side Hustle series. We will be talking to successful entrepreneurs about starting and growing side hustles that can be done from just about anywhere in the world. If you're interested in learning more or need some help, contact us at venturecollege@boisestate.edu or go to our website to learn more. Also, watch out for our social media accounts for the next installments of the Side Hustle series. Hello, everyone. I'm here with Dallas Crum, one of my good friends. We actually went through the Venture College together years and years ago. He is the co-founder and owner of Vivid Roots, and also with his media company, Inspire Media. Let's talk about Inspire Media today. What does Inspire Media do, Dallas?
So Inspire Media is a kind of new age digital marketing agency focused on doing paid advertising. So things like Facebook ads, Google ads, we even do Snapchat, Pinterest advertising, all paid acquisition channels.
And why did you niche down specifically going into paid?
So, when Ryan and I went through the Venture College together early on, I started a company called Vivid Roots. And Vivid Roots at the time was a kind of apparel brand that we were trying to sell things online. And we knew that we had to grow social media channels. So we worked really hard on the organic stuff, kind of getting followers, posting, and all this sort of thing. And we were able to acquire, upwards of 60,000 followers across all of our channels. And what we learned, though, was there was really no predictability to that. And with the changing of the algorithm constantly, we weren't just able to reach the people that we wanted to, and we weren't able to predictably grow our company. And so that really led me into diving deep into what the paid side of things look like and how much more control you actually have, even just spending a little bit of money, as far as, the amount of energy and resources you put into it, it's so much more valuable. So I kind of went down that rabbit hole and found out there's a ton of opportunity and started testing these things on our own brand and then ultimately on friends of mine's companies, and realized that there was a lot of people that actually needed this sort of service and help, and it kind of started there.
Yeah, so walk us through, how'd you get, so you tested on your own stuff, and then
Yep.
like friends and family reached out to you, you reached out to them. Like, tell us how you got like this first initial.
Yeah, so for especially getting started, so tested out on my own brand, that was helpful, but like we didn't have that much money, right? So I didn't have that much to test. So a friend of mine started a gym, and at the time I had gotten very out of shape. I think we all know when you start getting into the business hustle, everything falls to the wayside, especially our health. And so as an athlete in my kind of previous life, I had really fallen ship. So I called my buddy that had a gym, and I said, here's the deal, man. I have no money because I was still going to school at the time, waiting tables, trying to get this stuff going. And I said, but if you train me for free and let me use your gym facilities, I can help you with some marketing stuff. And so I kind of showed him what we could do and asked him about his goals. And so the first job was really just a trade. I said, will you train me? And then that was able to build another case study for us so I could show what this was worth. And
Yeah.
that was the first phone call. And I think that was that was the next one until we started getting paid.
Great. So then move to that next one. How'd you get to the point where like people were reaching out to you versus you like dialing up and asking friends?
So the next thing that I did is I was actually just volunteering an event for Vivid Roots, actually, just a charitable event here in town, and a large agency in Boise was hosting the event, a large ad agency, and I got to know a few of the people, and they were telling me about this really cool nonprofit campaign that they were working on, and they were going to be using digital channels and stuff. And I said, that's so cool. I was just really interested. And I started asking them questions. Hey, are you guys going to be doing this? Hey, are you going to be doing that? And they started saying like, well, we're not really doing any of those things. And the account manager at the time invited me in to kind of talk a little bit more and go to and chat about these ideas. And I was telling them, you can get way more out of it by doing these sorts of things that we had been doing. And she said, well, why don't you come in and maybe you can consult with us on this campaign and pitch with us and pitch us. So it was pretty scary for me. It was my first ever pitch. I had never like pitched anything like that.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I put my rate at much higher than I had ever been paid before.
Okay.
and I kind of put it all together. I put everything I had learned, I organized it in a deck. And I remember the CEO and everybody was in the room, and I was just this young, I think I was 22 at the time. And I basically just told them everything I knew and everything that I thought would be valuable to that campaign. And they said, let's do it. And that was my first kind of client. I got to learn the ad world.
So did they hire you as like actually executing it? Like they just turned that business over to you, or what was the actual agreement?
I became a piece of the team. So this was a very large campaign. They're creating a lot of video content, putting it online, and they had to do paid advertising. So I was buying all the media. I was buying and targeting.
Got it.
All the targeting and that.
You were like a third-party vendor they hired out to execute on the overall plan. Like
exactly.
You're part of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So where's your business come in now? Like obviously I'm assuming you have like core clientele, but as far as like new stuff comes in, is it coming more direct? Is it outbound? Is it through partners? What does it look like today?
So right now it is still a mix of, we've had a number of our clients, about half our roster has just been inbound leads through partnerships. So a big thing that I spend my time doing, and I wish I started earlier, was educating. Even though I was new and young, I did know a lot more things than other people did. And I wish I just spread that knowledge and education. Because as soon as I started just doing, partnering up with the Small Business Development Center of Idaho, with the Boise Metro Chamber of Commerce, and just teaching kind of small seminars or workshops, that was able to get me really connected in the Valley with a lot of small businesses. And from just a few of those, a ton of inbound leads coming in, as well as just good relationships that I've been able to build over time.
Do you have clients, or do you want clients out of state, or are you focusing more on like servicing local clients? Because what you just described is more of like local face-to-face relationships.
Yeah, so we actually have out-of-state clients, and part of that is due to our partnership. So we have a couple partnerships, such as the one with the agency, where we are a third-party vendor or a contractor or a preferred partner, and that allows us to work with other larger clientele that is not in the area.
Awesome. Let's go back to pricing. So you priced it really high to the agency. Obviously, you agreed to that. Moving forward after the agency, how did you determine your pricing?
So I learned really quickly that I didn't want to be paid by the hour.
Why?
Because I didn't want my time to be directly connected with money, and it was a lot harder to scale that way, to scale up, because I only have so many hours in the week. And if I was going to be hiring contractors or team members, fitting them within that hourly structure was really challenging. So online, through learning some other guys that were running digital ad agencies, learning that service fees, monthly kind of retainer fees, were the strongest way to go. And I have been doing that for about 3 years now, and it was a really good decision. So I moved all my clients over to that model.
So is your retainer on top of the ad spend? Like if I'm a business and I say, I want to push $2,000 through you, it's going to be $2,000 plus your retainer?
Correct. Exactly.
And does your retainer vary on how much money they're pushing through, or how do you set that retainer in price?
it varies on how many campaigns they want to be running.
Got it. Okay. So not how much money, just how much campaigns they want to run.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. And then I know you're a big advocate of, like you even said with your own stuff, like educating. And I've heard more of like your theories of kind of educate through ads, and then eventually it gets to the sell. So
Yeah.
how much are you like literally just executing on the ads? Are you helping companies consult with like the educational piece? Like what do you play there?
Yeah. So after, working with a number of clients, about a couple years in, we realized how much consultation they needed. So we developed a consulting model as well that goes with our business. We call it Advanced Advertising Systems. Advanced Advertising Systems has complete like video modules like you'd think of an online course, but also comes with one-on-one consulting. So it's not necessarily an online course. It just is a way to learn that. And this basically takes customers through this entire customer value journey and education model. And so if we feel like they don't have a very strong one, we know that our ads aren't going to work very well for them, because we can push traffic there all day, but if the back end isn't looking good. So we'll kind of show that we have this model. And we've also even just taught people to run their own ads in-house based on the way that we do it, if that's a better investment for them.
So so what I'm hearing is like, do you turn away customers then if like you're just like, it's not a great product, or it's just not set up for success? Sorry.
Yep.
And is that more because you don't want to like affect your brand, your reputation, or is it more like it's just going to be a waste and it's better that they do it? Like, what's the motivation behind that?
The motivation is that I, was hardly able to put gas in my car when I first started both companies, and I realized the efficiency, and our core value with Inspire Media is efficiency for that reason, because of how much waste there can be. And starting a couple businesses myself, I know that it's not in their best interest. They should be going to work on the other parts of their business before they start doing some of the things that we can offer. And so really it's in their best interest, and it's also in our best interest, because we can't, if we're not helping them grow, we're not going to keep them as a client. They're only going to keep us for 2 months, realize, oh, this wasn't a good idea. And we can't really go from there.
That makes sense. Do you have like a average idea of like how long customers stay with you? Is it like, because it's kind of like campaign by campaign, but I'm assuming you're like encouraging them to keep doing campaigns. So how does that work?
Yeah, so we're trying to extend our lifetime value, and really it's all come down to choosing the right clients for us. So the ones that have been with us, we have clients that have been with us for 4 years, and
Okay. Yep.
3 years, 2 years. And then the ones that are dropping off are usually the ones where, we just did a poor job, or we kind of made an agreement up front because they really wanted to help. We said, look, this is a gamble, and if you're willing to take the gamble, you're a new business, you don't have a lot of data for us to utilize. We'll take that gamble. And sometimes it just the numbers don't match up. And even initially, like if our numbers, because we can generally measure return on ad spend or return on investment. And if our numbers aren't meeting their benchmarks, it's not in their best interest, and it's not in ours. So
makes sense. And then last question along this line, if not mistaken, you do have help on your team, like you have extra people that are helping you out.
Sure.
Obviously you had a big knowledge bank in your head. How did you talk about, like, how did you properly train it so you felt comfortable enough that you could start giving that work out to other people, and you'd maintain the same like quality as if you did it yourself?
Yeah, so this has been a big learning and challenge for me, because everything's been in my head, like you just said, and getting it out there. So I use Upwork a lot, which is an online source for anybody who doesn't know, to find freelancers and contractors in all different areas of expertise. So I've gone through, the first thing I went and hired is a campaign manager. So the person that actually does the work under the hood and buys the ads. And I've tested a number of people until I kind of found people that were confident enough and that I found a kind of a good relationship with.
So when you say like tested, like one that like didn't work out, I assume that means like the client got a less than, superior experience. How do you balance that out of you experimenting on your business while like still executing on your clients?
It came down to a lot of partnership. So myself and the team member I'm working with, I'm working very closely to make sure that ball does not get dropped for our clients. And
Sure.
so it ended up just being way more work than it should have been for me. And I was having to do more hand holding than I should have.
Yeah.
So if there's too much hand holding, then I basically say, thanks for all your help. And then I try someone new. And so then, the new guy that we've had now has been with us for quite some time and super confident in our relationship. And
So on the initial, like when you were testing it out, did you let the person know like, hey, we're just gonna test you out on one campaign, or how'd you kind of frame that so they knew it?
Yep, exactly. Hey, a single campaign, and even before that, we would try to get their knowledge and get examples of what they might run
Sure.
before. And so, we'll do a couple interviews and then we'll test them out on a single campaign before we move them into multiple clients and give them more and more access.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so in review, we have Dallas Crum with Inspire Media. He was running his own side hustle, Vivid Roots, and really started building his own expertise in digital marketing to the point where he solicited to a friend. He needed some free gym work, and so he got a trade. From there, he got the confidence of starting to offer his services to other people, and eventually started doing social media for kind of friends and family. And coincidentally ran into a digital marketing agency that was about to run a campaign. And through a quick discovery, he found out probably he had more expertise in the area than they did at the moment. So they formed a partnership together. And since then, he's worked with other digital marketing agencies to kind of get some clientele coming in the door in addition to his own efforts of bringing inbound marketing. He recommends not being paid by the hour because it really limits you and kind of puts a cap on how much you can make. And then in terms of like building out your team, he recommends essentially giving a test with a new employee, like give them a campaign, not the whole keys to the kingdom. And if it works, then continue to scale out. If not, then say thanks and have a great day. So thank you so much, Dallas, for the insights, and good luck with your venture.
Thanks for listening. While you're waiting for the next episode, feel free to contact us or follow us on social media.